Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about the 2013 film The Green Inferno, directed by Eli Roth. Basically, there's no bones about it. He made it as, I don't know if it's a sequel, but definitely the movie idea came from the film Cannibal Holocaust, because that's where they go, is the Green Inferno, whenever they go take their tour to save the people. Anyway, the point is though, it's the same thing, and there's actually a reference in the film Cannibal Holocaust to the Green Inferno, so that's kind of where he came up with the name at. But anyway, so the film stars Lorenzo Izzo, which was his wife at the time, or girlfriend or something like that. She worked with him on a couple other films, including the one with Keanu Reeves, Knock Knock. And so you know how that one is, and she definitely shows her acting chops in this film. That one, not so much. And if you look at this film like you would a typical Eli Roth kind of cabin fever film, it's not bad. It's not that great, but it is what it is. They're this group of activists trying to save the rainforest. Plane goes down. They land in the Green Inferno, cannibal tribe everywhere, and they are trying to live, basically, is what the film is. And I remember when this came out, it was definitely portrayed as, like, oh, bring the barf bag, and it's the most disgusting film you've ever seen and all that. And I'm not saying it's not gross, and I'm also not saying that to the latent eye, or to the layman eye, I don't know how you say that, but pretty much the typical American audience, yes, it's absolutely horrible. But if you're somebody like me and other cinephiles that have seen things like Sallow and a Serbian film, and I think even the Human Centipede 2 is more gross than this one, it's not that bad. Don't get me wrong, there's still some moments that are pretty intense, and there's definitely some moments that are worthy of the R rating that it gets, but it's not the worst thing in the world if you've seen films like that. If you haven't, on the other hand, it's probably a pretty intense film for you. But let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. The acting's all pretty well good for the most part. It's nice to see people like Daryl Sabara that, come from something like Spy Kids, as a child, and then end up doing something like this and are actually good. It's nice to see. He was in another film, I believe it was the Wes Craven 2010 film. What is that one called? I'm sorry, I forget. It's not I Spit on Your Grave, but it's something along those lines. It's the same title like that. But he was in that, and he was good. Overall, he's a good actor. Like I said, the Lorenzo Izzo, she's a good actress, and we find that out in this film. You can't really see much of it in Knock Knock, because that movie was, I don't know what happened with that film, but it's just not what anybody, I think, including Keanu Reeves, really wants to put on their resume. He didn't even do his best in that. But the point is, in this one, we get more of, yes, there's some campy moments, but overall, it's probably Eli Roth's best horror film that I've seen. Now, granted, I know there's Hostel and Hostel Part 2, but those are just gritty and gross and, whatever. But this one actually kind of gives the horror element a definite run for its money, and I like that. So if you're into these kinds of films, plane falls, lost tribes coming to kill you, it's not bad. If you're not into those films, you're not going to like it. And also, if you've seen The Green Inferno, I'll bring it up again. It is I'm sorry, if you've seen Cannibal Holocaust, they definitely pay homage to that a lot in this film. And that's nice to see. So obviously he did his homework and watched one of the most controversial films of all time. And I'd say down the road, we're looking at this will be considered a staple in one of the most controversial films of all time. But if you haven't seen it, like I said, if you're into this kind of film, I recommend it. It is one of his better ones, but if you're not into this film, you're in this kind of film, you're not going to like it, so don't watch it, and save yourself from 2 hours of, wanting to claw your eyes out. But the gruesome scenes are gruesome, but they're not over the top, but they are very realistic. And there's this one part where Daryl Sabara's character is carrying weed this whole time, and then whenever they're burning, his friend is, sorry, and whenever they're burning the bodies, the THC gets in the air and they all get stoned from eating him, and then the smoke as well. So that's kind of funny, but it's definitely it's an acquired taste. If you're not if you don't like it, I get that. If not, if you're into this kind of film, check it out. If you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll be back with another review soon or something of that nature, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.